Hello and welcome to my 8th video on how to create your own minigames. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to display the end results of the minigame, so that being the people who won and the people who lost the minigame. So I'm going to start off by making a GUI, but this time it won't be inside the normal screen GUI we have. We're going to create a new screen GUI for it, and go to your properties window and disable reset on respawn. So what this is going to do is, let's say they're playing disappearing plates and they fall and that triggers the end of the minigame. Well, they're going to respawn and the end result's going to disappear if this is checked. So we don't want that. So just uncheck it and it'll be alright. I'm going to call it end screen. And I'm going to design it like I always do. I'm going to speed it up so you don't have to watch it in the full time it takes. And I'll start with the tutorial when I'm done. Okay, so I finished designing the GUI. There's a few things you're going to need to take into consideration when you make your own. And you're going to need a label called points label. That's going to tell the player how many points they earned inside the minigame. And by default I'm going to have it at 0 points, just in case they didn't earn any points and I don't end up changing the text label. So you need a points label, and you don't need 4 of these labels, you just need one. Call it username label and have a result label inside of it that's going to be saying if they won or didn't win. Now if you're wondering where I got these usernames from, it's actually from the top people inside of my leaderboard. I promised one of my viewers that I would show this. So here are the top 10 wins. First place goes to Pika283. The second place goes to Turtles from Earth. Number 3, II Joseph Katz 205. Fourth place, Exotic Silver Gun. Fifth place, The Best 123998. Number 6, Avia Gold. Number 7, Cinnamon Slice. Number 8, B Sky 100. Number 9, Zaygamer 9879. Number 10, TDF_YT. Okay, those are the winners. Just wanted to let you know. So, back to the tutorial now. Now, this is going to be a little bit interesting because it's not just going to be whether they won or not. I'm actually going to make it so it's different for every minigame. So, for disappearing plates, for example, we could do did not fall if they won, and if they lost, we could say lost their footing. It'll be different for every minigame. That's what I want to say. Okay, so go to your frame, insert a local script, empty it, and to start off, this is going to be working all through our remote event right here. So game.replicated storage.event.onClient event connect function objective and ... local t equals a table with ... inside of it. Now we check if the objective is equal to end screen, capital E, capital S with a space in between each word. Okay. So first, we gotta clear what's inside of the scrolling frame. We could do this by script.parent.scrolling frame, clear all children. After that, we can set a variable for the end screen results. This is going to be a table. It's going to be the first thing inside of T. This table is going to have the player's username as the key, and the amount of points they earned, if they won or not, and the text for if they won or not. So I'm going to create some variables for their username. Oops, I made a mistake. You gotta loop through them, through end screen. And I is going to be the player's username. V is going to be a table containing the points, whether or not they won, and the message. So local username equals I, local points equals v dot points. Actually, we don't need that one. Message equals v dot message. Local 1 equals v dot 1. Okay, so v dot message is going to be what pops up here. 1 is going to be whether it's green or red. Green's going to be they won, red's going to be they lost. So if you haven't already, which I hope you didn't, because that means you're thinking ahead and you're not following the tutorial. So drag the username label into the local script, and I'm going to empty this out. Drag it into the local script. I'll do local clone equals script dot username label clone. This is going to create a clone of our username label, and clone dot text equals username, clone dot result label dot text equals message, clone dot, oh no, okay, and I forgot an E there. Now we check if 1 then, so if 1 is equal to true, then clone dot result label dot text color3 equals color3 dot new 100. 100 is going to be bright green like this. Else, so if 1 is equal to false, meaning they lost, clone dot result label dot text color3 equals color3 dot new 010. This is going to be bright red. And if you don't know how this works, the first argument is red, the second one is green, and the last one is blue. You can figure this out by going to any GUI object, clicking on it, and you pick the color you want. I'll go with this. Actually, no. I'll go with this solid bluish color. Anyways, as you can see, I said the last one is blue, and that's 255, which is 1. You could figure out what the value you put in here by dividing it by 255, or you can do color3 dot from RGB, and then whatever value you have here. So this is red, green, and blue. But I'm just going to do color3.new for now. I forgot something. We need to have a variable up here. I'm just going to call it x equals 0. X is going to be the number of loops we've done so far, because we can't do I because that's going to be their username. And at the end of the for loop, do x equals x plus 1. Now we can position it easily. Clone dot position equals udem2.new 000. Now this depends on what the size of your username label is. Mine is 25 pixels, so that's what I'm going to do. 25 times x, and yeah, 25 times x. So for every loop it's going to go down by 25, or up. But on the screen it'll be going down. Also, if you noticed when I was designing it, I had it go from darker and lighter, darker and lighter, or lighter and darker. I don't know which order I had it in, but that's what I'm going to do. Using x and the modulus operator. So if x, the modulus operator is %2 is equal to 0. Now for most of you, you won't know what this means. But don't worry, you came here to learn, I'm going to teach you. So what the modulus operator does is it will give you whatever the first number is divided by the second number, and it'll give you whatever's left. So let's say I did 5 divided by 2, then I would have 1 left. Well, 5 modulus 2, I'll have 1 left. Print 5, 2, 1 left. It's basic. Well, I could go into more detail, but if you do some Googling, I'm sure you can figure it out. But basically it divides it, gets whatever number's left, and gives it to you. So if whatever's left is divided by 2 is 0. So if it's a multiple of 2, then I'm going to make it lighter. Clone.background color 3 equals color 3 dot. This time I'm going to do from RGB. $200,000 else clone.background color 3 equals color 3 dot from RGB 140,000. Now there's no way I can test this yet, but for now I think the client side is done. If it's not, I'll get into it later. But now it's time to go to the server side. I'll start it off with minigame 1. So what you're going to need to do here is we got to make this table that goes into our remote event. So we're going to need the username, the message, the one, and the points too, which is what I forgot to do. But I'll do that later. So to do this, go right on top of wherever you loop for the winners and create a table. I'm going to call it end screen. Now, remember in the minigame, we created temp contestants, but we also created contestants. Contestants is all the players that played the minigame, and it doesn't change if they die or not. So we're going to loop through it for IV in pairs, contestants. Oh, whoops. Not just contestants, minigame dot minigame info dot contestants get children do. So now we're looping through this, and it's going to be object values. So I'm going to check if v.value, make sure they didn't leave the game, and I'll do another check if v.value is not equal to nil. So if the value is not nothing, then we'll continue. End screen, square bracket, v.value.name equals, open a table and close a table. So this is going to be their username, and this is going to be their points if they wanted a message. So I'm going to start off with 1 equals false, message equals, this is the race, did not make it, and points equals 0. Just going to make sure I got everything right. Yeah, okay. That should be it. Now copy this same line, and where you loop through the winners, add the same thing. But you're going to need to change it up so it says if they won. So 1 equals true, message made it, and points, it's 5. So I'll do 5. Now it's almost done, but I want to keep it kind of organized, so I'm going to display the people who won first, then the people who lost, because right now it's going to be mixed. It'll be like someone won, 2 people lost, and someone won, 3 people lost. No, I don't want that. So I'm going to create a new table, temp end screen equals, so a temporary end screen. Now I'm going to loop through end screen, Now temp end screen I equals V. Oh, I forgot to do a check. We got to check if they're winner. If V dot 1, then. Now copy this. If V dot 1 is equal to false. Okay, so what's happening here is it's getting all the people that won, putting it into the table. Then it's getting all the people that lost, and then putting it into the table too. Now the end screen's ready to go. End screen equals temp end screen. I didn't need to do that, but oh well. Game.replicated storage.event fire all clients. End screen with a capital E, capital S, and a space in between. End screen. Okay, now I'm going to test. I'm going to go to my main script because in the last video I changed the num players to 2. And I only need 1, so I'm going to test it now. We're going to fix this later, where the end results is on the screen. Actually, I think I forgot to parent the labels. And there's an error. Perfect. So line 41, Minigame script, end screen, yeah. Okay. Just remove the dot value here in the winners, just the winners. Keep it in the contestants. Oh, yeah, I gotta check and see if I parent, no I don't. Clone.parent equals script.parent dot scrolling frame. If we didn't add this line here, then we wouldn't be able to see it on our GUI. So make sure you do that. Okay, I made it and it's red. I wonder why it's red. It works perfectly fine. If one, oh, that's why. I have them reversed. My bad. Hopefully you caught on to it while I was explaining how color 3 works. But now it'll work just fine, hopefully. Okay, yeah, Zombie Slayer made it. Perfect. Now what I wanted to do is I wanted to highlight my name in yellow, depending on who's looking at it. So go into the local script. If username is equal to game.players.localplayer.name, then clone.text color3 equals color3.new 110. And this will be yellow. How do I know that? If you go here, 255, you see it's yellow. Okay. And also, while we're in this check, I'm going to make it so it changes the points label text. Clone, no, not clone. Script.parent.points label.text equals you earned concatenate v.points points. and it says you earned 5 points. I forgot the plus, but it works perfect. Plus. You can choose whether or not you add that plus. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so got the racing minigame done. Now we got to do the same thing for the disappearing plates minigame. Now I know you had a lot of time to experiment and make your own minigames, but I'm going to try my best to explain how you can fix up your minigame so it has an end screen to it. So copy this part, the end screen, and loop through contestants. Go into your disappearing plates or whatever minigame you have. Paste it on top of the winning loop. This one's temp contestants because it's whoever's still alive wins. And copy it, copy line 31, and change it up so they win. Don't forget to get rid of the dot value. Lost, no, did not fall. And they earned 5 points. Now it's safe to drag disappearing plates back into the minigames. And nothing happens when you, oh right, one line, a very important line. Well, there's a few lines we gotta copy here. The temp end screen part, all the way up to the fire all clients. And make sure you paste this before the minigame info.finished equals true. Okay? Before I test it, I'm going to fix the GUI interface. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to animate in and bounce, then stick. So we can do this by using a function, a built-in function called tween position. It's a part of, I think, every single GUI object, well, most GUI objects. And we could do this pretty easily. But to start off, I'm going to reset its position to where we can't see it. You could do that by setting its position to 1.5 on the scale. So I'm going to reset the position now. Script.parent.position equals udim2.new 0.5. Just going to copy what I have here. And make sure you get rid of the squiggly brackets. Okay. Now at the end of the for IVM pairs looping through the end screen part, we're going to do script.parent tween position. Now this function is going to be animating it to whatever position we do here, udim2.new. Then whatever position your GUI needs. Mine is 0.5, negative 150, 0.5, negative 100. Now since the GUI is going to be moving into the screen, we do enum dot easing direction dot in, and then enum dot easing direction easing style dot. You could play around with these, but I want mine to be bounce, so it's going to be bounce. This will make it so when it comes onto my screen, it'll bounce up. I'll show you. So it's not in my screen anymore. Got disappearing plates. Now to make this faster, I'm just going to jump off. And there it is. Now it didn't bounce, so I'm going to look at it again. Did it bounce? I don't know. Okay, it doesn't seem to bounce. I'm going to go ahead and try it out. Okay, there we go, it works. So make sure it's not in, make sure it's out. I had it backwards. And wait 5 seconds and I want it to tween back out. But I just want it to be a smooth animation. So I'm just going to do quad. That's just going to smoothly slide it down. And change the position to off screen. So what this is going to do is after 5 seconds, it moves it off the screen slowly. Well, in a second. So let's see. I'm going to try and win this next minigame. Okay, it's disappearing plates. I'll speed it up for you. Okay, the ice zombie slayer did not fall. I earned 5 points. It works. There is something, however, I want to change. It's this bar here. The scrolling bar is going to make it so I could scroll down even though there's nothing to scroll to. This is a pretty easy fix. All I got to do is base it off of X, which is the amount of results I have. And the property canvas size for the scrolling frame. By default, I'm going to have it set to 0000. I forgot to do that while I was designing it, but now I get to tell you that it's important that it's at 000. So after setting x to x plus 1, do script.parent.scrolling frame dot canvas size equals udim2.new 0000 x times the number, the size of your label, mine's 25, times x. And I forgot to move it back down. Okay. Okay, it works perfectly. So there's one last condition I want. It's going to be a losing condition, and it's if they left the game. So go up to the first for loop. That sets them all to 1 equals false. And do else, or yeah, else. So if v.value is nil, then you can just copy the losing line, set it to left the game. Okay. I'm going to copy it and put it into my other minigame. I'm sorry for those of you that happen to have made your own minigames. Like you probably have 5 minigames, and you gotta take your time and make sure all the scripts are right. So I apologize. But you can run it now. Oh wait, I'm gonna go into my main script and make it so I can have 3 players. So what I aim on doing is have one person die, one person leave, and one person win. So I could have all 3 of the results in one screen. Okay, choosing a minigame to play, disappearing plates. So this player, I'm going to get to leave. This player is going to die. And this player is going to survive. Okay, well, the coloring works, but it didn't give me the result I wanted. I probably should have kept that open. Okay. Gonna test again and see if I can find the problem. Okay, this is going to be a little bit tricky. What I could think of is, since the object value says the value still exists, I'm going to try something out. I'm going to check if there's a player with that object value's name. So I'll type it out so you can understand. So if in players you can find something with the same name as the value, then it'll give them the regular losing message. Otherwise, it means they left the game, so they get the left game message. So I'm going to copy this and put it into my other minigame script. And we're going to try it again. Alright, so with this player I'm going to leave. Whoa, that again. This one, I'm going to die. And with this one I'm going to win. Will I win? Yes, I'm going to win. Okay, player 2 left the game. Player 1 did not make it, and player 3 made it. And I am player 3. So that's it. It all works. That's all for today. In the next video, I'm pretty sure I promised I'd make a shop. And hopefully I don't upload a video a month later again. I hope I can get the next video out pretty soon. So the next video is going to be making a shop, and if I could fit it into it, I'll be making a sword minigame. If not, I think I'll just make the sword minigame first, and then I'll upload the shop immediately after. And with all that said, I also want to thank you all for 100 subscribers. That's a pretty big milestone for me. My last milestone was 10 subscribers, where I did my face reveal. But yeah, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.